This is Rafiq Luzon, and you are tuned in to Nothing But That Sports Talk.
Man, what more can you say? New York Knicks just straight up decimate everybody. So welcome to this episode of Nothing But That Sports Talk. I'm Rafiq Luzon alongside the announcer from the Long Island Nets, Andreas. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks so much for having me, Rafiq. It's a wonderful day in New York, a wonderful day to be a fan of basketball overall. It's been one of the finest playoffs in this generation. And of course, a little biased saying that as a New Yorker, but great things to come. Happy to be here.
Yeah, but look at the bright side. The Brooklyn Nets, they managed at the very least make it to the top six of the lottery. Not the greatest accomplishment, but it's a stepping stone for Brooklyn. At one point, this is what Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden was supposed to do about like what 5 years back before the 3-point shot with the toe on the line happened. But obviously, the Nets never recovered from that moment, and they're in the rebuild. Will get sub 2 years row and then go to rebuild phase himself. Having to watch the Knicks pull something like this. But before we get to all that, obviously you have a strong established announcing career. You're announcing games from Long Island Nets. You announcing games like literally all across New York. I want you to talk a little bit about how you got involved and why you decided to go for announcing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. This is funny. I attribute my success in this sort of field to a broken foot. Now, I'll tell you why. I started working at the Stevenson High School in the Bronx a couple of years back. It was maybe my second day. I was on a Lime scooter. Probably shouldn't be doing that. And fell off, broke my foot. So I had to take the elevator over there for a couple of years. On one of those trips, I meet the athletic director for the high school. I, on a whim, tell him, hey, listen, I know you guys have a great basketball team here. Have you guys ever thought of having maybe like an announcer, like live at the games? He said, I have a speaker, I have a mic. I just don't have anybody to do it. So if you'd like to come stay after school, you're more than welcome to. And I remember it very clearly. It was a Stevenson game against Eagle Academy Bronx. Now, given Eagles, strong reputation at the time, you can imagine how that game went. But, I after that game, he said, listen, I got to have you back for every single game. And, it really snowballed from there. Like I say, the right people were listening at the right time, and I just happened to get better and better gigs. I have to attribute some of my success to Ike from the Patrick School as well. Great guy, well-rounded, well-established, human being who came to one of those games and said, I need you to come over and take your talents to Jersey. So definitely been a great run. And it's only been maybe 3, 4 years now since that moment.
Wait, 3, 4 years since you started the announcing?
Professionally, that's right.
Wow. I mean, or just in general?
Yeah, besides maybe a couple of MC gigs in high school and college, I mean, yeah, this is when I realized this is something that I'm passionate about, and I'd love to take it as far as I can.
Listen, I just started doing announcing for Queens College baseball softball teams this past spring,
Very nice.
and it was a little challenging with the name pronunciation. I'll tell you that. Every time I mispronounce my name or get the wrong name, I mean, Nav, the director, the guy that hired me as an intern at Queens College, would kind of get on me for that. So, with that being said, how was the name? How tough was the name pronunciation when you're doing these announcing gigs?
Oh, that's a great question. It's something that again is some of the most important, aspects of being an announcer. You're literally transmitting somebody, putting somebody in the spotlight. So you really can't get that wrong. I mean, it can definitely get challenging at times, especially, again, when you work for a professional team like Long Island Nets, there's an extra level of expectation there. So it's a matter of, listen, do your research, even at the high school level, college level, there, usually there's clips of play-by-play saying it. Usually maybe you might hear it in the background of some other games they might be in. But my biggest thing is always being persistent. Asking anybody and everybody, hey, listen, I just got to find out what this, how to say this guy's name. If you have to, just go up to him.
Sorry.
I can guarantee you they are going to love, they're going to love, making sure that they are, you know, looked after when it comes to these things. But it can be definitely a challenge, but I embrace it. I love just speaking and hearing and watching people from all around the world, come play this beautiful game.
Mm-hmm. When you get to do these, like when you do these announcing gigs, like what is the one advice you receive from anybody in terms of being better than you were in your first gig, Eagle Academy, Eagle Academy Bronx?
Well, I'll tell you this. I've spoken to people with many, many different tiers of experience, professional levels, and every single time there's one piece of advice that has been shared, and I try to live by it, and it's be yourself. There is a specific style that specific cadence that you can bring for a team, and there's a reason why they keep calling you back. It's not because they think that you sound like, let's say, Mike from MSG or somebody like that. It's because you sound like the announcer for their team. So being yourself is just the most important advice that I would give to anybody looking to come into this field. Just be confident in what you have to bring.
Yeah, not and obviously you got a lot of confidence, and not only that you would do basketball. I see you've also been able to do. You could count the high school games and a bunch of PSL games, and you've also done some Gotham FC games as well. Gotham FC, right? The team that won the NWSL championship 2 of the last 3 years, and they're literally hosting the game at City Field. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I was able to cover for the incredible Marisol Vargas, who is the PA announcer for Gotham, earlier this month. It was an incredible experience, really. I mean, just to announce at that level of soccer, which is again a sport that I loved playing as a child and still play to this day. It really does mean a lot, for myself, for my family to be able to contribute to that level of professional sport. So it really was an incredible experience. Everybody at Gotham FC was just so nice and easy to talk to. So, definitely it was an honor. And like you said, Gotham FC coming to Queens right in my backyard. I will definitely be there. It's going to be an incredible matchup, hopefully setting attendance records. I think they said they sold 20,000 tickets already, if I'm not
Mm,
mistaken. So, going to be an exciting one. I can't wait to see how that plays out.
yeah, this is gonna be crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, and I gotta give flowers. Gotham FC to turn it up, and that they really one last game, and I know people that gone to Gotham FC games like Bianca Pier, Bianca Pier obviously for
Yeah.
hosting with Long Island Nets, and then obviously my homegirl Shantae was sure to see the team, and she was there supporting this gymnastics lady named Christine Johnson. Yeah, she did a good job with the halftime performance, and
Oh man.
yeah,
Let me
she's
tell you
done.
about. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, well, you can go ahead.
Let me tell you about that. I mean, number one, it was that game. It was coming down. It was raining, pouring. The old man is snoring. You name it, it was happening. So to see the to see her pull that off, do an entire routine on turf, which has been rained on the entire game at halftime. It's an incredible feat because you're already pulling off an incredible performance, and you're doing it under maybe some of the more precarious conditions. I mean, hats off to her. That was really an incredible sight to see. You had to be there.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't be there obviously because I had to work some tennis games at Queens College. We were supposed to be Arthur Ashe Stadium, but they moved it inside the Queens College Tennis Center, where I just pretty much helped with the event set up. But when during my athletics internship experience, public address announcer was one thing that got me really more invested more than anything world. Yeah, I had the setups. I like learning everything about the department and ways to make it better. But PA announcing, play-by-play commentary is something I've done literally all year. I was doing sports broadcasting for WSU Radio this past year, and then 5 years prior to that, I was doing some demos for WFUV. But this really reminded about how tough this field is. Right here, somebody that's not ready to get on the air, or you're ready to get on the air, but other factors come into play. It's a challenging field. But when you're doing it and you're good at it, you get a lot of appreciation, and a lot of fans support what you do. Even Bianca Pierce supports what you do.
I support what Bianca does. That's the homegirl, man. I mean, we worked a lot of games this year at Long Island. She was a joy to work with, and I really can't wait to continue working with her next year. She's truly amazing. I mean, you've seen. I mean, she's got an impressive resume. With herself. She just did the what was it, The Throne with all at Christ the King. My goodness, she is gone places, and she's going to continue to go places.
Yeah, she will. She's pretty good to learn from. And then when I told her about getting released from the campus radio station in the most unexpected way, all she did was just continue rising above it all. All I
Absolutely.
could do was rise. I'm lucky I had my increased scholarship when I get to do some BA just people BA announcing to build off what I learned from my 1 year run doing broadcasting because it ain't any opportunity with announce will help my career as I graduate. But what other announcing gigs are you looking to do to build off your success so far, Andreas?
Oh, that's a good question. I've I'm proud to say I've done just about every sport there is in the books as of yet. But as much as I do. This is more of an open secret, but baseball is my first love. You know, I'm definitely looking to expand, into maybe a more consistent baseball gig, one day. Of course, I think it would be amazing to be, creating a lot of the memories that I felt when I was a kid watching baseball. Big fan of the Mets, still am. Um, and if I may go on a little tangent here, I tend to do that sometimes. But you know, in that vein, creating memories for people as a PA announcer, which again, I'm sure you have felt as well. Like you said, it's about making sure people are having a great experience, having a great time, and being a special part of that. I got to work with Alex Anthony at the Long Island Nets. He was the audio engineer over there, and to realize that this was the man that was the voice of the New York Mets all throughout my childhood, and I got the opportunity to work alongside him was a very full circle moment for me. So the people who have come before us and the people who continue to do so is it was a very sort of special moment for me, and I'm happy to be just part of that world.
Yeah, and I'm happy for you that you got to get those opportunities to do announcing anywhere possible. And while we continue to be on the subject, well, actually, what is like literally your top five games you announced during the Long Island Net season last year?
Top five games. Oh man.
Or even if you can't name it, at least one or two.
Couple of highlights for sure, for sure. I mean, the first game has got to be up there. It was a very special moment. My family was there, sitting courtside, sharing this incredible time with me. Just getting into the swing of things, and the nerves really fell off after that. Every day was game day after that. Just another day on the job. So that was definitely very special. Another one, man, this is good. I think there was a game against maybe Westchester. I could be wrong.
Westchester Knicks.
Yeah, it was one of the games. We were down maybe like 18, 20 points at the half or maybe in the third. Stormed all the way back and won that game. That was very special. I got to check my stats, but it was one where we really embodied, or maybe we were the fourth quarter Knicks before the fourth quarter Knicks. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But that's got to be up there too. Just and you know what? I'll give you one more. I'll give you one more. I got the opportunity to dedicate a song to my special girlfriend at the Long Island Nets for the karaoke segment, of course. And she actually picked out a song for me to do that night, and it was just very 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 personal, special moment for me to be able to to profess my love in front of couple thousand folks that night.
I can only imagine. I can literally just imagine because it is very challenging. It is. All right. Now we got to get into New York Knicks talk because what is there to talk about? This is literally the longest streak. I know working for the Long Island Nets is tough to watch, but it's literally one of the best moments of New York basketball history. Nets or Knicks. 10
Yeah.
consecutive wins in a row during the playoffs after being down 2-1 to the Hawks. Highlighted by a literally 140-89 blowout win against Atlanta, a 30-point blowout win against Philadelphia, a come-from-behind game one victory against the Cavaliers, blowing up the Cavaliers in game three. Man, they literally shut the media up with this run. Let's call it the way it is. The Knicks are ready to win an NBA championship. They may not, and even if they end up losing to OKC at the end, the fact of the matter is they've done something special in 2026.
Oh yeah. It's a matter of where they choose to go from there. You have all the pieces, and you've got to continue to build something that could be a dynasty moving forward. And yes, like you said, I am I am part of the Nets family now, but I'm also a New Yorker, so I have to give props to where they deserve to be. The Knicks are doing an incredible job in the playoffs, and it's just wonderful to see what they have done for the city this year. It really really is. I'm sure as a fan, I'm sure you were there in the days of Emmanuel Mudiay, Franklin Ticolina, and Kevin Knox. There were some tough times. We got to enjoy this year for what it is, plain and simple. This is a success no matter how you spin it.
Man, I was going to the next games and we had Stephon Marbury, Jamal Crawford, Zach Randolph, and Eddie Curry and David Lee.
Come on
And
now.
those were tough years.
Mm-mm.
And I was there when we had Amari Stoudemire and Melo. We only made the playoffs 3 times and won one playoff series before another NBA playoff droughts. This one, 4 straight years, 2 conference finals appearances. We're knocking on that door for the NBA finals.
Finally, first time in what is
Since
it,
1999.
27 years since they've made the finals, and first time in about 50 if they win it. An incredible job for sure. But nobody said it was going to be easy. Like you said, you're right. I think it's we Knicks fans can't get too confident. You have superhuman abilities on the Western Conference teams that are left. All teams have tried and they have failed consistently to create a winning strategy against these freak athletes. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a matter of players can't get too cocky. Fans just have to call it like it is. You know,
Yeah,
just play good basketball. Do what you keep doing.
yeah, exactly. You got to keep on putting in that work.
Mhm.
And I know it's the Cavaliers were not playing defense. They looked like they were playing defense in the first half. They tried to be competitive, but the Knicks just found ways to catch the defense sleeping by getting open shots from 10 feet away from the defender. And then also the defense was so passive on that layup by Jalen Brunson that put the Cavaliers down by 16. They just looked passive in the end.
Yeah, I, I couldn't agree more. It's just a matter of the game was over before the final buzzer, and they really have to come out firing if they want to extend this. But if they do, bring it back to the Garden, and that's a whole new beast in and of itself.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? When the Knicks wrap up this series, which team would you rather face, the Spurs or the Thunder?
It's a great question. Um, and it's one that I still haven't come up with an answer to. Just because, like, as I mentioned before, there's just an incredible amount of talent on both sides. Young guys, experienced, it's just the perfect storm of talent both ways. So really, you can only just sit back and watch and say either of these teams is going to push the Knicks to their limit. I you know, it's a cop out answer, I know, but I don't think I have one for you.
I'm not mad about that. I mean, anything can happen in the NBA and sports. You've seen it yourself. We've all seen it. And I'll wrap up this episode, nothing but that sports. So thank you so much by Andreas. It did pretty good job with the announcing opportunities I've seen you manage to get with the Long Island Nets and Gotham FC.
Thank you, man. Seriously, it's a pleasure to be part of this show. I'm going to be absolutely, now that we've been able to meet, supporting you all the way. I think you're doing a great job putting the spotlight on folks from all different types of places. I think New York sports as a whole, from all levels, is very deserving of this kind of coverage. So I appreciate what you do.
Mm-hmm. For Rafika was on Andreas, the announcer. We'll see you next time.